Are these NBA players about to be traded? So I came across this article that was talking about 5 off-season trades that could still happen. So the first one is Zach LaVine to the Lakers. And in return, the Chicago Bulls would get, I know I'm covering it, but Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jackson Hayes. Let's talk about it from the Lakers standpoint first. This is not going to happen. This is not a good trade for the Lakers. It has nothing to do with Zach LaVine's talent, but there is no way they're giving up Austin Reeves and Jared Vanderbilt and Rui, who, like, Jackson Hayes was in the rotation, somewhat last year, but like the other 3 players are key parts of their rotation. There's no way they're giving them up for Zach LaVine, who unfortunately has a contract that a lot of people view as not a good contract, and he hasn't been able to stay healthy. So they'd be taking a huge risk on Zach LaVine, and we don't know if he's going to be healthy. So there is no way the Lakers do this. This makes 0 sense for them. And I don't think it makes them a championship contender because they are losing a ton of depth. Like Rui, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt. I know Jared Vanderbilt was hurt last year, but he's one of the best defenders. And you just can't give all that up. Now, from the Bulls standpoint, this is a W. If the Lakers want to do this deal with them, accept this any day of the week. A win. Rui, Austin Reeves, Jared Vanderbilt, Jackson Hayes. Lots of talent, lots of young players. What better could they ask for? Especially given the fact that, we've heard a lot of the reports that they are really trying to move Zach LaVine, and it clearly has not worked out. So, this is a win for the Bulls. On to trade number 2 is Kawhi Leonard to the Warriors. And in return, the Clippers would get Andrew Wiggins, I know I'm covering it again a bit, GP2, Kevon Looney, Moses Moody, a 2028 first-round pick unprotected, a 2030 first-round pick, which is protected, again, I'm covering it, and a 2029 pick swap. I don't know what's worse, the Lakers trade or this trade. It's almost the same offer in a way, but with different players and different teams. Let me explain how. Kawhi is obviously the better player than Zach LaVine. When Kawhi is healthy, he can cook. It really, honestly, when they were playing the Suns in the playoffs, it was is Kawhi going to win it? It felt like Kawhi was going to carry them to a win in the series. That's how dominant he was. But the issue with Kawhi, similar to Zach LaVine, but maybe even more so, is Kawhi can't stay healthy. And similar to Zach LaVine, it's not their fault that they get injury and they're injury prone, but there's no way the Warriors can take a chance like this when we don't know if Kawhi is going to be healthy. And similar to the Lakers deal, they're giving up a ton of depth. You got Wiggins, obviously, salary purposes, but still, Andrew Wiggins was a key part of that championship team. GP2, I talked about this in a video recently, he's still one of the most underrated players. What he does for the Warriors does not get talked about enough. And then Kevon Looney and Moses Moody. Kevon Looney, we know, has been a big part of the Warriors for years. And then Moses Moody, I don't want to say rising star, because then people are going to be like, you called him a star, but a rising star. If you watch him play, he keeps getting better and better, and he's super smart. Plus 3 first-round picks, there's no way the Warriors do this. Also, besides the fact that Kawhi just got that large contract extension, a 4-year deal, no, it's not going to happen. From the Clippers standpoint, similar to the Bulls, what a win of a trade. If they are set on, giving up on the championship hopes, what a great trade for them. I understand that maybe for the Bulls, it was a little bit better because they had more younger players in the deal. And obviously, Kevon and Andrew Wiggins are not old by any standards. They're still in their 20s, but they're in their late 20s and they're in their prime. But Moses Moody is a young player. And the most important part, 3 first-round picks, which they desperately need because they have no picks from all the moves that they made. So this would be a way to, get some assets back. So definitely a W for the Clippers if they want to give up on championship hopes. The third trade is Anthony Simons to the Magic. And in return, the Blazers would get Anthony Black, Cole Anthony, and a 2025 first-round pick, which is top 5 protected. Now, this would make sense for the Magic if they didn't just sign KCP. In general, I think this would be a great move for the Magic because one of the things they needed was scoring and shooting, and that's what Anthony Simons does. He is rising, he's ascending, he's a very, very good player. He can, like I've talked about before, he can drop 8 threes He can get hot. Like, he can do so many things, and he fits the timeline of the Magic. He's young. So in general, I do agree. This would be an awesome trade for the Magic. But again, they just signed KCP. And I understand they don't do exactly the same things. And obviously Anthony Simons is more offensive focused. And KCP is a two-way player and he can definitely score. But like, we know him as a 3-and-D guy, one of the best perimeter defenders. So like, I understand they don't do exactly the same thing. But it doesn't make sense now that they got KCP. It's just a little redundant in a way. So yes, the trade is good, but not anymore. And then for the Blazers, this really makes no sense for them because, okay, yes, we've heard the rumors that they want to move Anthony Simons, but I think they can get more than this for Anthony Simons. And that's nothing against Anthony Black or Cole Anthony, but the problem with the Blazers, and part of the reason why they're trading Anthony Simons, you know, the rumors, is because they are a little bit filled at the guard position. Now that they have Scoot and Shaedon Sharpe, although I still think Shaedon can play the 3 a bit, and I'm sure he did last year at some time, but like he's listed as a 2. And so like they're having Shaedon and Scoot be their backcourt of the future, at least for now. So it would make no sense for them to pick up 2 more point guards. Like that just makes 0 sense because why not just keep Anthony Simons then? Like that doesn't make sense. And they're getting only 1 first-round pick and it's top 5 protected. Like, this is not a good deal for the Blazers. Number 4 is Dorian Finney-Smith going to the Cavs. And in return, the Brooklyn Nets get George Niang and 4 second-round picks. This would be an awesome move for the Cavs. It would just add to their depth, another wing player who could play defense. Like, I like that the Cavs didn't make any crazy moves this offseason and, like, trade anybody. I think they just need to keep building depth and building around their roster. And eventually there may be another player who becomes available who can, you know, put them over the edge. But Dorian Finney-Smith definitely makes them better. And if all they have to give up is 4 second-round picks, I think this is a win. For Brooklyn, I don't think it's a terrible deal. But we heard the reports that, like, they were offered 2 first-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith. So if that's the case, like, this doesn't really make sense because they obviously can get more for him. So it's not a bad deal per se for the Nets, but like, I don't think it makes much sense. And then the last one is Ayo Dosunmu to the Bucks. And in return, the Chicago Bulls will get Pat Connaughton and a 2031 first-round pick swap. I love this move for the Bucks. I think Ayo Dosunmu is on the come-up. I really liked him coming out of that draft. I think he would do a lot of good things on the Bucks and help them. You know, I'm not going to say they're going to be a champion. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win the championship next year, but he definitely makes them better. And because the Bucks are one of the oldest teams in the NBA, just age-wise, it helps to have some youth on the team who is an up-and-coming, you know, player. So I do like this move for the Bucks. From the Bulls standpoint, I think that's selling Ayo Dosunmu short, so to speak. Like, I feel like he's worth more than that. I feel like you could get more for Ayo Dosunmu than what this deal is. Like a 2031 pick swap, I don't know what the Bucks are going to be in 2031, neither do the Bulls. Like, I feel like that's too out there that, like, it's just not going to work. I think Ayo Dosunmu is a very good player, so if I'm the Bulls, I'm saying no to this.